Hello and welcome to a scene for Vampire by Gaslight. Today Sir Trant is going in search of Miss Lovelace, a Tremere that he has met before and is very much hoping will be at her usual coffee house, talking with her intellectual friends. And quite fortunately, he will be right that she is there. As she often is on a Tuesday. The other days of the week less so. Tuesday, she often is.
So, he'll see if she notices him. If not, after a while, I guess he'll try and go up to her and talk to her.
She'll look up and give him a bit of a what are you doing here look, and then she will excuse herself and make her way over towards Sir Trant.
Sorry to disturb you again. It's just I've been tasked with defending the good doctor, and it seems I might help if you could give me some answers as to his blood.
Okay.
And I might be able to procure another blood sample, and if you can tell me more about it, that will help as well. And what ability, or what are you going? What do you what are you usually able to tell from blood if you were to check it as thoroughly as you could?
It varies depending on the blood in question, but generally a reasonably large amount.
How much? A vial full or a drop?
Oh, I don't tend to need very much in terms of the actual blood. I mean, you can generally find a large amount from blood.
Okay.
If it's been mixed with other blood or so forth, it can become a lot more difficult. But yes, there is quite a bit that can be discovered.
So,
the question is why we should bother.
Well, I don't understand. There is a question as to his allegiance. He says that he is not a traitor to the Camarilla. I was wondering if there was something in if you analyzed his blood, if you could tell whether he was, or if there would be evidence whether he is or is not.
There won't be evidence in his blood regarding his allegiances.
Maybe people he has ties to in the blood?
That's more possible. But unless we know who those people are, there's no saying which side they belong to.
Well, I'm just trying to do my job.
I understand.
My ability.
And the only way to find out what can be discovered is to actually do it. But my question remains, why should we, either of us, go to this extra effort?
Well, ours is a court not of mortals, and I wouldn't dare pass judgment on him in this court. But if he says that he did not engage my asylum, and he says that the domain he, that the domain he did attack the sewers was not rightfully claimed by the Nosferatu. As for the masquerade breaches, he claims that the masquerade breach in the woods was not done by him. The fact is, I wish to eliminate him not so much to free him, but if I eliminate him from these crimes, then we will be able to point the finger at the correct individual and perhaps stop these things from occurring again instead of just punishing him as a scapegoat.
Perhaps we do not use the gifts of our clan lightly. Especially not with the risks that come of exploring blood to its fullest.
This isn't likely. This is a public. This will be a public affair, and I wouldn't ask you to help eliminate him, whether if it didn't wasn't important. I don't want the people of the city just to lump all the problems they have at the moment with him and sweep them under the rug, allowing the perpetrator to go free.
Get me the blood. Talk with his sire. If she will agree to owe me a minor boon, my investigation, I will go ahead and find as much information as I can. I make no guarantees as to what that information will be. I'm a scientist. Do not presume what the evidence will be that emerges, and I will not lie regarding it. But unlike the mortals who prefer to presume innocent until proven guilty, ours is rather more often guilty until proven innocent. If she wants my efforts, she will agree.
All right. Do you know where the closest telephone would be?
I can't be quite certain, I'm afraid. There are so few so far.
If I will try and get all these things together. I don't know how long it will take me, but if you could, is there a way I can get in touch with you quickly? I'm going to try and get this together maybe before the end of the night.
Well, Gustav there, and she gestures to the waiter. He will take packages for me. If you acquire the blood, simply put my name on it and deliver it to him. Deliver it after you've formed agreement with the Duchess, because if you deliver it, I will assume that you have made this agreement.
All
And
right.
I will consider it very disrespectful should that assumption be false.
By the way, I do have my own sample now that I think about it. How fresh or new does this blood have to be? And I was going to say there is I do have a couple of samples of dirt with blood in it. Could you discern any information from the blood in the dirt?
I don't know until I see it in person. I'm not going to make any guarantees that I may or may not be able to live up to. Until I see the blood, I don't know what I can find from it. The same is true if it has been mixed with other things.
I will I will put in a vial of that, and if Christian is still toying with that thing, I will also get a vial of blood of it if you're willing to take on the and because that is also tied to the case.
He sighs. How many samples do you want me to look at?
3 at the moment. I don't think there'll be any more but I can't guarantee this until I know, until I'm done my investigations, which I'm probably going to do up until his trial. I don't know if you know much, but lawyers when they try and defend their client, they have to form a rather plausible defense, as it were.
Yes. Fine. Up to 5 samples. 1 minor boon from the Duchess.
Very good.
Any more than that, and we will have to renegotiate.
If you can think of anything that might establish who or what was in a particular place at a particular time, please let me know, because he has claimed that he did not violate my domain, and I did not detect any deceit from him, either
There is something I can look into that will detect falsehoods, but that will be costly.
If it can be reused, maybe the prince might blush to employ it as well after the trial. Anyway, if you could establish whether he's telling the truth, that would at least clear him of that, but it would not help finger who did, but that you'll have to wait till later then. I will.
As I said, I will deal with up to 5 samples. That is the agreement we can make. I will look into anything else that might be of use.
Mhm.
But the ritual for something which can indicate lies is, as I said, rather more difficult, and as such rather more demanding in terms of payment.
Well, I will mention this to the Duchess and see if she's going to hear about the other ritual as well. But I will get her answer to the blood samples then.
I wish you luck.
Thank you. And with that, Sir Trent is going to rush off to give a telephone call to the Fortescues.
The Fortescue residence, as you previously knew it, is looking a lot emptier than it was. But they do. The butler will show you through to a room, and he will say that the Duchess is currently out, but should the matter, but can he pass along a message for you? And presumably you will indicate the urgency of the matter, and he will make a quick phone call, and about 15 minutes later the Duchess will arrive, because she genuinely wasn't in that building, but I'm going to tell you where she was, and she has returned to the city. So yes.
Duchess Fortescue, so it is a pleasure to see you again.
I do apologise for the wait, but as you may have noticed, you've relocated somewhat.
Anyway, I've been assigned to defend your shoulder, I take it?
Joseph, yes.
Yes. Now, to be fair, it does not seem like he would have destroyed Angelique. It just looked like he was going to change her physically. That I'm to the point I do not believe it would have destroyed her, but it would have been inconvenience. So I'm not sure whether it would fall under the pretense of the 6th tradition. As to domain, the sewers happen to fall be underneath his lab. I will check with Nosferatu and see if anyone was actually using that area, or that area just or it just happened to inconvenience them since they were running up against his animals. And as for the break in the masquerade, the creature in the woods, he seems he seems to feel he did not do that. He's not guilty of that, and I have to say, since anyway, I'm trying to, given the discipline he used is suspicious, I am trying to find a way to discern his allegiances via the blood. And the Tremere I talked to said that she would be willing to analyze 5 blood samples for me. For a minor boon on your part.
Well, I honestly do not know what Joseph has done. Do not know what to think about him and his behaviour. It's been deplorable, at the very least.
I will admit that in a mortal court of law, there's little to no chance that I could win this case, but given that ours is a court of only 6 laws, the fact is that if I can establish that he was not at fault for the masquerade breach, and that he did not violate my dominion or the sewer, he would most likely either A, continue his current incarceration, or be given back to you to deal with as you see fit. Then again, the prince may decide something else altogether. It depends if they can discern where his allegiances lie. He said that he learned this ability back in the olden days when such things were shared more readily than they are now.
It is theoretically possible, but I am far from convinced.
This is why I need the blood analyzed so that I can discern what he may have done in the past, what can be told from his blood as what he's done in the past, or maybe who he's shared blood with and who he has ties with.
In my mind, it keeps returning Keeps returning to the issue of progeny. He may be centuries old, but he is my child. And I do wonder if there's something I could have done differently. If perhaps I spoiled him.
Well, don't all
I
parents
will
think the same
I will
thing?
agree to this minor boon.
Um,
However, I do not want any other member of our family, save Joseph, to be involved in your blood samples.
as long as it's not another member. Yes, I can
Joseph
agree with
is
that.
Joseph is at the mercy of the court, but myself, Christian, and Angelique are forced to live with the shame of this matter. You should not have to endure the indignity of turning over blood to the Tremere.
No. Although I was wondering, you remember that creature that attacked Angelique in the woods? I was told by Angelique that he was using it for fencing practice. Is he still doing that?
I'm afraid you'd have to ask Christian on that matter.
I, if you could ask him to get in touch with me, I feel that a blood sample from that thing as well might help. But I can agree that no other blood samples need be taken from any of the other Fortescues.
I'll see what I can arrange.
Um, if you could give the Seneschal a call and ask him to procure me a vial of his blood. I don't know. I take it he doesn't want me to talk to my client again. I only talked to him for 15 minutes, and other than seeing human beings as little bit more than food and material, he seemed quite free of guilt in this matter, as far as I can see.
Lack of guilt is unfortunately not proof of innocence. There are many people who can do great evils with no regrets, and many who can barely harm a fly without mourning its passing. We shall see how this unfolds. I very much hope that he is, as you say, less guilty than he might appear. But whatever comes of this, there shall be a reckoning. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have to go and get a blood sample for you.
Right. One thing. May I go to Joseph's lab and see if the something is as I left it while I'm here?
Yes, I don't believe I don't believe there is anything much of importance here at the moment.
And Sir Trent is going to quickly go to the safe and unlock it and check to see that the heart-shaped heart is still there. Or not the heart, the flower-shaped heart is still there.
Yep, it's still there.
Alright. I'll lock that back up, put the key back, and then I will go and look in the place where I locked up the heart.
You put it in the desk, didn't you?
Yes.
The desk has been moved.
Hmm.
It doesn't look like anything like anyone's broken in. It just because they've moved all the furniture. Well, not all the
Okay.
furniture, but a lot of the furniture. It basically looks like the desk has been moved, probably without the people moving it realizing that the heart was in there.
Uh-oh. I'm going to open the thing and check if it's still intact.
Which thing?
The heart in the jar.
That's what I'm saying. The drawer, the jar was in the drawer.
Right?
The drawer was in the desk. The desk was moved. As in,
Oh.
it's gone. The
The
whole desk
drawer
is
is in the...
gone.
Alright. Um, he'll...
It's
Walk...
presumably wherever they have moved to.
Okay. He'll go and sit and wait for the Duchess Fortescue to return concerning the blood sample.
And she'll come back and say, Mr. McNichol says that the sample will be waiting at the duty officer's desk.
Okay.
You just need to ask him for it.
Mm-hmm. And any idea how long it would take to get in, to ask Christian if he could get me a blood sample from his creature, if it's still creaturing?
Unfortunately, he seems to have gone out for a ride, but I've left a message for when he should return.
Very good.
Hopefully he will be able to get in touch with you.
The last bit here. There was a desk in a particular room. Is that desk still in your possession?
I would assume so.
All right.
You'd have to be rather more specific.
Um, uh, he'll mention the desk in the particular room it is, and and ask if that desk has been moved to the new place.
Ah, yes.
All right. I locked something in in its right-hand drawer. If you can get a lock box and move that item to it, I believe that it holds some significance to something else with your children, but it's not come up with the courts. So uh, I'm still trying to discern what its significance is. I'm just trying to keep it safe.
Well, if it needs to remain safe, and it is regarding my child, who may or may not be cleared of these accusations, or at least some part thereof, I will keep it safe, whatever this item is.
Very
personally.
good.
But
Good.
I'm afraid you'll have to give me rather more explanation as to why I should turn this over to you.
Oh, at this point, I don't ask you to turn it over to me. I just wish you to keep it safe. I believe uh, someone has been striking at your chowder through his classes over it, but I cannot be certain. Uh, my instinct was to move the object from where he had hidden it, since he is indisposed and cannot protect it himself.
I see.
Um, I I can't give a better explanation than uh, there's sometimes method in my clan's badness, and I decided to trust my hunch, as it were.
Yes. Well, we all have instincts on occasion. And sometimes if we don't listen to them, we end up regretting it.
Right.
She seems to mean rather more than she actually says with that statement. I think you can probably guess what that is.
Hmm. Not off the top of my head, but I'll think about it. Anyway.
Well, if you want to
Uh,
make a perception empathy, I
oh,
could
yes.
fill you.
Oh, right.
There's no
I've
what.
rolled it. I've rolled it twice today. Can't I remember it's 6? Oh, wait. What am I doing rolling 6s? That's not going to help. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Okay, you can probably tell she's regretting something in the past, and given the topic of conversation, you might guess that perhaps she's had some concerns about Joseph before that she might have not wanted to pay attention to.
Mm.
Not exactly overlooked him actually doing things, but perhaps she had an instinct, a thought, a feeling that something wasn't quite right, and she didn't look into it. The kind of thing anyone could do. But hindsight is 2020, as they say.
Mm-hmm. Anyway. Well, uh, oh, um, the Tremere also wanted me to bring up, because I brought up that it will be difficult for me to prove that, other than his word, that he did not violate my asylum, and given the fact that I believe, given the fact that he never physically saw the subject with which was stolen, because she had hidden herself from him, I am a little bit more open to believing that maybe he is telling the truth. Anyway, she said that given the demands of the ritual to uh, be able to verify whether he's telling the truth or not, is a bit more. Uh, it's a bit more taxing, so she'll have to ask a greater price.
I see. Have you not thought that it might be easier to ask if she could see about locating the individual. I don't know quite what that clan is capable of, but I do know what my child is capable of regarding language. And if he is aware that lies will be revealed, you might well try and find a way to bend the truth instead. If you truly believe that this is necessary, I might be open to discuss payment, but do see if you can manage without it.
All right, I'll leave a message that you are considering it, but I will give the other I will ask her if the other option is possible. Yes, this is most peculiar because I did see the scene myself, and if the beds and Angelique are the only people he took, that would only equal 13, and 14 people were taken. Is it just coincidence, or did someone know what he was doing and use it as a scapegoat? No.
It is possible. And if that is the case, we will need to find this other person as well. But it doesn't diminish the issue at hand by much.
Well, you know the court better than I do. Would you say that the biggest problem here is the fact that because of the discipline he was seen using, the biggest question here is his loyalties and not so much the actions he took?
I believe the actions as much feed into the image of his disloyalty as anything else. He acted against another vampire, one of his own blood, one of his own family. If he is willing to do that, what else would he happily do?
Anyway, thank you for the blood sample, and please tell that, and thank you for leaving a message for Christian. I hope, I hope the verdict I help them come by is helpful to you. I will at least do my best.
Don't do it for me.
Well,
do it because it needs to be done.
True, but I'm not doing it for you. I am doing it to be done, but I'm hoping that by doing it because it needs to be done, I hope that the outcome will be the most pleasant for you.
Thank you.
And if he is telling me the truth, it might be the case, but we'll see. And
The Trant.
and with that, he'll be on his way to the police station, and he'll ask for a pen and paper and write a short note outlining that the Duchess Fortescue said that she would rather forgo a something as costly as that, but if it was the only answer, she'd be willing to do it. She mentioned it might be easier trying to find the occupant of the cell, namely Cassandra. Is that possible? What would you need to find her? And I'll sign Sir Trent. Please do the as soon as you get the information. And he'll fold it up and put it in the thing, and then he'll give it to the waiter, and then he will go back to the asylum to thank and try and regroup.
And there the scene will end.